promoting students to the next grade. So that will help the institution to understand where they are standing as far as the teaching learning is concerned. So that is what the basic objective of SAFAR is. If you see the full form, structure assessment for analyzing learning. So we are analyzing the learning, we need to know where are the learning gaps and we have to act accordingly. So that is what the objective of SAFAR is. Formulated in the footsteps of NEP 2020, SAFAR will strengthen the assessment system. We are talking about critical thinking, inquiry-based learning, analysis-based learning. Competency that we were talking about, we are moving from rote learning to competency. Assessments are given for all government and private schools affiliated to CBSE. School level data will be shared for development of learning outcomes. ये जो हमने learning outcomes, learning objectives की बात की थोड़े देर पहले, what were the objectives, what are the outcomes, how much we were successful, how much we were not successful. So in order to measure that, we have the diagnostic results of SAFAR. Data to be used for continuous hand-holding and improvement. So if you are not reaching that benchmark, if you are not reaching that standard, what has to be done to reach that? थोड़ा तो मुस्कुराइए इस पे। The last point says that the results or outcomes of SAFAR will be that will be the data.
না ইয়া তো জলদি বুঝে আসবে ও আসবে চশমা কোনটা ঠেলে যাবে সান্না টলে ফের দিচ্ছি লোকের বেশি বেশি এটা ঘিরে দিচ্ছি না ইয়া বেশি বেশি নিয়ে
Students will be taken from 3, 5 and 8 and they will be assessed. What CBSE will be assessing what is the standard in which your school is. Suppose we have set the standard that in class 3 the child should be able to answer 2 plus 3 is long. How many of the children of your grade is able to 2 plus 3? So that data will be given to you so that you can analyze started from which process. Pilot is done. Now, if this mandatory has to refer the registration,
How can we evaluate the students those are above class 8?
this will be done from the base level 3, 5 and 8. By the time they go for the board, they will be ready. Current batch we are not promoting.
अरे इंग्लिश है ना एग्जाम ये वाला हमारा
So that's all. I think this is the most beautiful slide that I can show you. That is thank you.
अबे
Session 4.
Next session, that's done. They will be very, very happy. See, they have done.
ग्रास में तो टाइम चश्मा लगे नहीं पड़ हैं ग्रास में टाइम चश्मा लगे नहीं
It's only 4. And you are giving me now. Half of them is asleep. Now my duty is to make the remaining half asleep. I know.
विद्यालय में
He's telling me 54 slides are there. So I'm telling you 54 slides. That means how many minutes? At least 54 minutes. Are we ready for such a long session? Another long
1 2 3
Are we aware of what is this skill education? What is the skill education? Do we have the idea of what is skill education? Do we have the idea? Very good. Chaitanya ma'am is always there to give idea. And Chaitanya ma'am, you will actually share your idea with us tomorrow. Sir, I need that. I need one thing. This thing you have to do. And then I will share with you. I will bring that. So, promoting skill education in school. That's a real good. I think you can come and explain this. It will be helpful for me. First, I have not gone through the slides. Had I gone through the slides, I would have definitely done it. Who is going to volunteer to help me out?
Skill-based education.
But who is going to help me? সোমনাথ স্যার উইল হেল্প আমার জায়গায় করিয়ে দেবেন আমার নিজের ঘুম পেয়ে যাচ্ছে তো বাকিদের আমি কি বলবো সো বেসিক্যালি we are not going to this activity to straight away go into. Now when we talk about skill education, what is actually skill education? Can anybody tell me what is the skill education? What is the vocational education? Today we talk about skill, vocational. ODG sir, Choitali ma'am, এই দুজন ছাড়া। আচ্ছা, প্রণয় স্যার, থ্যাংক ইউ, আপনি হাত তুলেছেন, বলুন। Yes?
When we are just except from the common curriculum education. Suppose someone is good at singing, someone is good at dancing. When we are focusing on their extracurricular activities, that can be co-curricular.
Can we give a big round of applause for Didi? At the right time you started it. This was really, I had to give a seat and then I stopped because others did not have. So this was very, not to you, but to this. चाय का भी बहुत जरूरत था, तो पहले एक बार चाय हो जाए, फिर हम लोग सेशंस कंटिन्यू करते हैं। रात दिन आपने तो ये सुबह का आपने
मॉर्निंग सुबह सर का ही रह गया सर का ही रह गया उस साइड रखा हुआ था
तब नहीं लिए
बंगाल का कप नहीं आता है क्या?
So by the way, just a volunteer question. You all know this is a PRC program. That means a prospective resource person program. How many of you want to be a resource person? Will you please raise your hands? Pranay, Arijit sir, or you three already confirmed from my end. So I do not want your name. I want somebody else. Chaitanya ma'am's name also I have confirmed. Indra ma'am's name I have confirmed. আমি আগে থেকেই বলে রাখছি যে নামগুলো আমি আমার দিক দিয়ে কনফার্ম করে রেখেছি। But और कोई देना चाहते हैं? Is there anybody else who would like to volunteer? Anyone? Oh, very good. Sir was talking about it. आपका नाम सर?
तनवीर आलम।
तनवीर आलम। Done. So now the interesting thing is, sir is going to give a chit, not only to the future artists, but of 5 slides, and present that tomorrow to us. Point number, follow any other things, no other personal Google sites or anything. Only you directly go to the CBSE website. If you have a particular theme on, say, holistic progress card, you will see there are a lot of tabs at the top. You click on that tab and see what is there, that you can present in the form of PPT. Or if you are given HOL, Hubs of Learning, you go to that particular tab, see what is there in the tab, accordingly make a PPT. PPT will not be more than 5 slides. And you have a presentation time of 5 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes. The minimum, 5 is the maximum. Is that clear? And the sheets and everything.
And it's good at feeling good.
हमारा क्या चाहिए रिसोर्स पर्सन नाम
Yes. So let us continue. Basically, what is it? That I'm sure we all know NEP. What is NEP?
नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी नेशनल एजुकेशन
National Education Policy, not New Education Policy. अक्सर हम लोग बोलते हैं New Education Policy. It is actually National Education Policy. Number 2, when will NEP be implemented? When will NEP be implemented? 2021, 22, 20. Who is saying 20? Acha, 20. So when was the NEP formulated?
2023.
So as soon as it is formulated, it is implemented. Okay, good. So basically, NEP had a lot of what to say proposals which were to be implemented, and this story of implementation change we cannot bring in one day. It takes some time, and over the period of time, the changes one after another it is coming. It started from 21, the first year when shuffle was introduced. The first year of completion of NEP gave the introduction of shuffle because they talked about drift from rote learning to competency-based learning. So how do we assess? Because we can all talk until and unless we assess, we cannot say whether the learning is a rote learning or competency. So assessment का जो तरीका है, we have to design a way how to assess that. It's very important to make India skill India. Skill is something very important, and that's the reason why how to find start and how can we start with? We can simply start in the form of club. Cookery club, plantation. So then slowly and steadily they develop certain skill in that particular field. So with that, the gap analysis was done. So basically from 1979, when the introduction of vocational courses, where it's just started at the higher secondary level or post higher secondary level. At 2020, it went down to the middle school. Middle school starts from class 6. So try to understand this. This is the most important reason as to why skill or vocational education was given the maximum importance. Internship opportunities to learn vocational subjects to students grade 6 to 12. Indian workforce in the age group of 19 to 24, less than 5% receive formal vocational education. I'm sure we all know the best part of our nation is we have the largest population. Isn't it? That's the best part. So when we have something very good, at the same time there might be certain bad things. Little thing is, the majority of the population is young. So you have an active population. You can make use of that active population. And how can you make use of the active population? By making them self-sufficient, self-reliant. So that they can identify their skill, they can grow and work on their skill so that they become self-reliant, self-dependent. So you see that only 5%. On the contrary, in countries such as the USA, the number is 52%. In Germany, 75%, and South Korea, it is as high as 95%. Just see. Because when we are talking of a nation, like when we talk about state, we think, where are we at a pan-India level? Similarly, when we are talking about a nation, we are talking about a global level. Where are we at a global level? So when Korea can have 95%, India is only 5%. So that's the reason why we have to grow the skills. So these numbers only underline the urgency of the need to spread up or to increase vocational education. And that's the reason why we started introducing vocational education. My dear friends, my dear colleagues, one thing I'm sure you will agree. When there is a choice, there is a reluctance. But when there is a compulsion, you are helpless, you have to take it. So when your principal says that on a Saturday, Sunday you have a choice to go and attend a workshop, already we think you have this or the other, gives priority to other things. But when you have to, then you don't have any other choice. So same when we start, but yes, when we have to, that have to can also be in an interesting way. You come, whole day we go on just saying you go on doing, at the end it totally becomes boring. But when you have a little punch, sir is good at using some punchline, you will see I really appreciate the quality of this. So you feel, alright, sometimes you do not feel that boredom of a whole day of a Saturday or a Sunday. So similarly, what we are trying to do, we we are, CBSE is trying to introduce skill mandatorily, but at the same time, it would like to make it a fun-based activity. जिससे मजा आ जाए, बच्चे लोग खुशी से करें, वो लोग को अच्छा लगे. That is something big. So it is integrated in the educational offering, not as a other subject, but as an integrated subject. When you are teaching them science, with that you do, or you are teaching them history, with that you take them for a field trip, let them know about, so what? Tourism. So one or the other way you teach them how different aspects can be taken and how they can grow. So what we have to see that maximum level of learners are deprived of that skill. They are not given that talent to hone their skill, to identify their strengths. Sir started in the morning with the strengths, weakness, opportunity and threats, SWOT analysis. So we have to see what are our strengths. We have to give them the scope to identify the strengths, and through the skill education, we can start with this. They need to know each and everything is important. Even cleaning the toilet is equally important. And that is what the dignity of labor comes. Every job, every occupation has his or her own self-respect. And as such, the skill labs, we have to develop skill labs. When I am talking about certain skills, I need to make the skill interesting. Say I want to start with the pottery. So I have to have all those things which are required. I have to also invite a potter who will come and show them the art how to do. When we are playing with clays, when the children are playing with clays, we have to have wash machines also, so that after the games period, after the playway method, they can clean themselves and then go. So we have to make such a setup where whichever skill they want to indulge in, they start developing that skill, and at the same time, they have an environment of it. So that is what different types of models on different types of skill education can be inculcated. Now, skilling survey in schools and the skills which I just say, the same thing is you are not going to the primary or the secondary research. Yes, now comes the skill modules in middle school. If you go through the website, you will see there are some 36 new courses that have been introduced in the middle school, along with the common one, the artificial intelligence, coding, information technology, mass media, and other things. There are modules which are 12 to 15 hours. And these modules will start from class 6 and they will end in class 8. 6, 7, 8, 3 years module. And interesting thing is, after they complete this module, a separate certificate will be generated from the skill department and given to the students. Like, I don't know how many of you know, the students who are appearing for skill subjects in class 10 and 12, CBSE sends them a separate certificate from skill. If they have taken IT certificate. If they have taken coding, if they have taken AI, a separate certificate that comes from CBSE Skill Education Department, in addition to their results and the other things. So that is very interesting. It started from last year. So they have started. So because what happens? Once they have a because if you have an educational degree, you may not, because this is one of the subject in along with other subjects. But when you have a specialized certificate that yes, we have done a skill education, that adds to your value. Recognition. Nothing more than that.
Employment is skill sets.
Exactly. So, see, these are the different handbooks which are available in the website. You can easily go to the website and you can get it. Not just wasting time on all these things. New skill modules have to be introduced. There are a lot of skill modules which you can anyone tell me what is this blue pottery? What is this blue pottery? Any idea about anyone? Blue pottery kya hai? Have you seen the nice things, models and everything? The Rajasthani ladies, they prepare, they make camps and they start making things out of what I should say. They are somewhat with plaster of Paris and other things, but they are made of different colors. Those are generally the blue pottery craft forms.
The traditional crafts of Jaipur.
Actually, that is the most important.
In Patna Sela.
So, Kashmiri art work and various other things. Now these are the new skill modules which have been already introduced in association with ISRO. Skills, now this is what sir was talking about, the skill subject secondary level. Now, initially you see, most of the skill subjects are along with the vocational skill subjects which was there. But now, these are the new skill subjects which has already come into existence.
Self-structure for production.
Was the previous which was there. Over the years, we used to follow this scheme of study where we had the first language and the second language. Like sir said, the first language is English.
Yes, sir.
But we also have first language English. So it's not that it can be Hindi or English, and we have a second language. Then you have maths, science, social science. One of the skill subject that was optional, that was there. But now, if you see, basically as per NCA, this is the new thing which has come and which will be implemented from this year 24. This is 24-25 for class 9
Yes,
and 25-26 for class 10. So what does it comprise of? There will be a 3 language. Language 1, language 2 and language 3. Language 1, like previously it was Hindi or English, remains the same. Language 2 will always be there. But in addition to that, there will be a third language that becomes mandatory for the board examination. And if you see, that will be external examinations will be there. Next you see, instead of maths, now the subject name has become mathematics and computational thinking. Then if you see science, then you have social science. Now a new subject, that what we see, the art education. That has already come, and art education, if you see very nicely, that is assessed locally with external examiner. What is it? Like you have the for your assessment projects, you have examiner from other school coming and assessing, the same thing will be here. This are for class 10. This now it has become 10 subjects, 40 credits. Each subject is 4 credits. Now it is in terms of its credits. Next we have interdisciplinary area, which is an environmental education. That has again become compulsory. Initially it was there, it drifted, again it's back, and there will be an examination on that. So my dear friends, teachers, those who are taking class 9, please go and have a talk with your principals just to check the CBSE website, because these books are available in the NCERT website. It's not yet available, but CBSE has already given different ways that these are to be introduced. Then you have the physical education and well-being. That also the book is available. Previously physical education was by the name. Now they have to study the subject like they do in class 11, 12. And the vocational education, which is also any one of the skill subjects. It can be IT, it can be your AI, it can be coding, whatever, banking, different types of vocational subjects which we were talking about. So this is the new thing which sir was telling, that from this year, that means 24, that year approaching, from class 9, this will be there, 10 subjects formula. If you want to see the CBSE NCA webinar, check there, the entire thing is there also. And if you see, in all these cases, subject 1, that is subject 2, subject 3, subject 4, 5, 6, the first 6 subjects you have external examiner. Then you have the local assessment with external examiner, but again environmental education is also having external. So in both cases, if it is external, it will be by the outsiders, the paper will come like you said for the board examination, but in the other case, examiner from other school will come and assess. This is for class 10. Now there is a change in class 11 and 12. You see, now it has become mandatory for 2 languages. That means now second language is compulsory in class 11. Over the years, second language is optional. But henceforth, those who are taking admission in class 11, they have to have second language. English is mandatory. Because many of you will know. So second language now is mandatory. If you see, in class 11 and 12 will enable depth of study choices that students make, student will have to, number one, choose 2 languages from group 1 of which should be an Indian language. Next, choose 4 subjects with an optional fixed subject from at least 2 of the following groups. Previously, try to understand, previously there were 5 subjects and 1 additional optional 6 subject you could do. But now it is becoming 7 subjects because second language has become compulsory. Now 6 plus 1. Previously it was 5 plus 1, but now it has become 6 plus 1. So group 2, what are the subjects in group 2, group 3, group 4, we will just check. In group 1 and 2, you see these are the group 1, the subjects you can see art education and other subjects are there. In group 2, you have the physical education and well-being, you have the vocational, you have to choose any one subject. Then in group 3, you have the social science one, the commerce basically comes under interdisciplinary items. And in group 4, you have science, maths and computational thinking. All subjects like physics, applied physics, maths, applied maths, chemistry, all come under group 4. So now you just cannot take group 4. Try to understand, I am going back. Because we have said, choose 4 subjects with an option 5th subject from at least 2 groups. So it's not that they will only study all those subjects. No, they have to study 1 subject from at least group 2 or 3. So that permutation combination has also to be. So it's very important you as teachers talk to your heads, talk to the one who is in the academic committee. This change needs to be implemented right now. What are the options which you are giving your students? We had sat together and we decided what will be the subject combination for the next year, and we have already given to our students, those who are taking admission. Because until and unless we are clear, you cannot help your students, and if the students are not clear, how can they take admission? So you have to clear this and help your students. This is very important and vital for all of us to know that there becomes 10 subjects, 40 credits for class 10, and for class 12, preferably 7 subjects, because it's essential they should take 1 optional additional subject. Yes, credits is always there, because now it is shifting to that practice. NCF is talking about this credit. Now, these are the subjects which we are talking about, scheme of subjects. Now, this is the same thing, and artificial intelligence in schools that has become very important. CBSE is indirectly requesting all schools to take up artificial intelligence because that is the near future. So, integration across different CBSE curriculum, they are slowly and steadily designing the curriculum. One interesting thing, you have to do a little bit of compromise in the next year because many of the latest books are still in the process of publication, so it might not be available in the market. But yes, NCERT has promised that before 1st April they will be uploaded in the website, so you can download those new edition books and give it to the students. But please, whenever you are using, because we know many of us are using NCERT books as a mandate, if you are using NCERT books, please ensure you are not using the old one, because you will see some students buying old one, some students buying new one, total confusion, and the parents will come at the why is this book given, ye kaise ho gaya, wo kaise ho gaya. So those things are always there. AI for all, launched by our Honorable Prime Minister. Then we need to be aware of AI that Skill Hub. This is another important thing regarding Skill Hub. I think we all know the initiative taken by Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana. So this is a very nice initiative, right? Which as individual schools you can also take. You can go to the portal and you can register as one of the school in the Skill Hub, where you can start with different skills courses, not for your students, but for the neighborhood students. And I tell you, if any management person is sitting here, I don't know, there is enough of funding for this. from TM department, if you start skill hub, they are literally going to give you enough funding. Like now, many of you are aware that many of the KV is becoming, what is it? TM Street. They have started with that new initiative, TM Street. So when they are starting with that, they are giving a lot of funding. So same out here. Skill Hub Center, the location, school premises to be utilized beyond school hours and during weekend and holidays. The group size will be maximum 40 candidates. Training cost will be fee-based, and these are again, they will be just like schooling. After school, you do the course, you enroll in the CBSE, they will make payments for every child you enroll, and at the same time, they will give the certificates to the children, they will take the assessment and everything. Facilitating school to work, this is what, like apprenticeship. You can go for some hand holding, some work. Well, yes, please.
Only the school premises and the school cleaning can be.
Yes, not tutorials. No tutorials. No, sorry. Tutorials when do personal thing, only school. And those also now they are talking about those affiliated school. Basically, they should be CBSE affiliated, but yes, if it is state board affiliated, they can also try.
Yes, in our locality, a state board is running PMK.
So you can, it's not that you can. We have or something to say. So this is developed by, so they have the skill centers in the first phase, they started with this. They tried to move to the next phase, and in this way they are trying to develop or spread skill education among students. Collaborating with other organizations, when we talk about skill, we have to talk about companies. Without them, we cannot help the students to connect, to get direct exposure. So what are the different companies like you think? For design thinking and innovation, school AICT, they have connected with this school innovation ambassador training program, school innovation council, these are the different collaborations they have done. Now when we talk about other things like Atal Innovation Mission, 8-year space challenge, AWS job builders, in this way they are trying to make different forums through which the students will be connected to the big organization. NCDET, Sector Skill Council, Yoga, UNICEF. So every students, whenever they see, these are all available online. If you just check as skill hubs, once you have a skill hub, once you register for skill hub, all these things will come and automatically you can connect to them and you can help your students. Intel, Meta, IBM, so these are the things. So are we clear with this skill thing? Do you think it is very heavy? Sure. So we got the concept of I think they have heard of Microsoft.
Yes, sir.
They have also associated with them with ISRO. These are brands actually. They are associated with NASCOM. So basically that was all with regards to your skill. It was a very heavy module, but because of you, we could complete it. So one thing out of this heavy module, try to relate 10 subjects needs to be there, point number 1. Out of which one subject is essential in class 10. In class 12, 7 subjects, although they are not advocating, but because it is in group 3 to see, it's good you give one skill subject. So ultimately you get a combination of 7. So this is what we are talking about. So we are done for the day. Thank you very much for your support. Tomorrow, when we meet the 9:30 or 9:30. So tomorrow we meet at 9:30. I think that should be good. Actually, what happens? I was going through the group.